Way back when. And now they meet each other again here on the group stage on the verge of being eliminated. I did also see a little tip between GPK and Gabby. I don't think those two were teammates together, if I'm not mistaken.
Gabby and who?
GPK.
Oh. No, I don't think so. I think Gabby's only played with one team from Europe.
The battle begins.
So, bounty runs. Looks like it's going to be a trade-off of 2 apiece. Everybody heads off to their respective areas. And I want to see how well this mid lane matchup goes. I mean, GPK and Abed, 2 of the best players in the world at their respective positions. You got to imagine there's going to be some sparks flying. But Lina versus DK, it feels like it could be kind of a dull matchup. Am I crazy for thinking that?
No, it probably will be. I really like how Abed didn't go for the stun build. We saw that yesterday where XM went for stun and tried to crush a DK, but instead was unable to. It's actually versus a Tiny, but still, I think just now that you have a damage over time on your Q, it's almost always better to get this spell.
Yeah.
And with that, you're going to secure a lot of CS, and it's going to be a lot different because Invoker doesn't have the ability to nuke and get last hits, right? Whereas Lina, if she ever feels like it can't get the last hit, will just throw your nukes and just kind of like trade it out 50-50.
Okay.
Radiant's
Something to watch for there. Does get a courier kill already on the save. Ooh, that hurts though. Not getting the last hit off of using a nuke for Abed. Very frustrating.
GPK so far so good in this laning stage as well. We'll see if he can keep it up. It'll be very difficult, I think, for him to do as well. And Raven on the top lane.
They get the link off. It's going to steal a lot of damage. Yeah, Pure. Maybe biting off more than he could chew a little bit. Save too. They're taking a lot of damage there. Just that early point in Rocket Barrage forcing back the Centaur.
In my way.
The good thing about being a Centaur in a lane like this, though, this hero has absurd base HP regen. So he's going to get up to his full HP a lot faster than you will. So making trades like that isn't so bad when you are playing these type of heroes that have high base HP regen.
Yeah, absolutely. Keeping the lane in a decent position for himself, at least for now. There are no pulls yet used on the side of Blacklist up on the top side here. And then, of course, down bottom, Toronto, Tokyo playing together with Nightfall, trying to keep Tim's back. They're winning a little bit. Ooh, up top, enough? Yes! They get the kill onto Raven, and Carlo tries to turn this back around onto Pure. He is going to get hit by the missile, but with stick charge, is going to be perfectly fine.
And this is the type of thing you can't have happen, right? Razor is the hero that, yeah, if you play the slow game or you don't die, he will whittle you down as far as like your CS goes, but the burst is coming from Betboom's side. They will burst you really fast, and that's exactly what happens. Razor's a low HP hero, out of position just a little bit. You can see he bought a fluffy hat because he needs to survive these type of initiations. I think he goes for, I want him to go boots next, because if he gets caught yet again without the movement speed, it'll get ugly really fast. That death hurts a lot, especially if you get level 3 on save here.
You gotta be careful, man. That's it's a ton of burst damage. And I mean, the other issue too is, like you mentioned, the high regen that you have from Betboom. You know, Ring of Health is already done, so this lane already causing a little bit of issues in the mid. Certainly not as bad as it was last game, but Abed is getting denied up a little bit here. 17-8 so far for GPK versus the 14-3 for Abed.
And Dragon Knight's been looking good,
yeah,
so far in this tournament. These last pick Dragon Knights, I think we might start seeing some last phase Dragon Knights popping up more and more after these
top again. Raven is not going to get bursted all the way down, but
he's got no regen as well.
Yeah, that's the real issue. Carlo is actually salve.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks to salve for 200 HP, right, on your carry.
Yeah.
This top lane's done, actually. You try to counterpick Pure here by picking a Razor. Now you just can't lane anymore.
Yeah.
Centaur has 23 CS. His Ring of Health is up. He's got the first blood, or not, he didn't get the first blood. He got the kill though. And now Razor sitting at 15 CS. He's gonna get the small camp pull, sure. Bring a salve to himself, but this is gonna eat as his net worth. If you check like that specifically, the net worth, he's all the way at the bottom now of all of the cores in the game. And of course, Betboom team, we haven't really talked too much about this bottom lane, but needless to say, the Monkey King is winning against the Magnus, as that's just what he does versus most melee heroes.
Yeah, Mag is able to get something though. He's not getting like completely dominated out of this one, it feels like. And that side pull being open, I think, is a lot of the reason that this is actually happening. Yeah, it's going to need to be up to sort of some other of these movements around the map later on to maybe try and switch things up. But no, it's not easy. Not easy at all. And where do you even go for a Ink Rip? Raven, slowed, stunned, good damage onto him, in trouble yet again. And God, I mean, if you have to bring out a salve every freaking time,
no, the Link,
so bad. Oh my God!
If you look at the Centaur, he has a Link debuff on him, losing 0 attack damage.
Yeah,
that is like an instant break of a Link. Like I don't know if I've seen that before.
That's crazy.
But either way, you see these trades, right? He just used them right away. Raven doesn't have the HP region. As Centaur, he's sitting at 13 against the 5 region of Raven. He's down to trade all day.
That is really good start. And this is a hero that you sort of depend upon to, you know, be winning in your laning stage.
Mid lane.
They're going. They send him on in with the Satyr Banisher, trying to find Abed. No stun available, and the Inkswell into the easy kill. Things looking quite good for Betboom. 6 minutes in, already a 2,000 gold.
And we talked about how good Betboom is if they get off to a good start, right? Especially when Pure on the Blink Initiator.
Oh, GBK in trouble. GBK dead. Oh, that can't afford to happen. He just goes down. That's so much experience for Carlo. Holy moly.
Definitely a good kill there from the supports, but Lina didn't get a part of any of that action.
Yeah.
So yeah, Carlo will definitely get a lot from it, and that might later down the road mean a lot if he gets that level 6 quite early here. But meanwhile, on the top lane here, Pure is just completely bullying Raven. Like he can steal all he wants, but look at that, he's gonna stomp, go back. This is a catapult wave as well, and I don't think he's done here. And guess what? Nightfall's joined the equation as well.
Yeah,
good read by Raven though.
Dire's top tower is
Heads up play just to get out of trouble. And Carlo's going to soak experience in the meantime. He's actually level 5 now on Carlo, so he's a higher level than the Razor.
Yeah.
It's a weird one.
I mean, Razor is not a hero that functions well from behind. Because if you look at the other carries, when they do poorly, like a Luna, for example, you can just go jungle and you'll catch up in no time. But you jungle so slowly on a Razor, you actually can't do it. It's too depressing. So he just has to keep going back to this very sad lane of his right now, and just kind of have to deal with it.
It feels like there's going to need to be a lot done by Carlo in this one to try and set up for anything going well. As he does decide to run down save a bit here, we'll get hit by the missile towards the end, and no real chance to chase any further. As Abed will get his shield rune stolen away by Toronto Tokyo. Moving in, has Laguna Blade at the ready, looking for a finish, and Toronto Tokyo gonna go down. They have enough to bring down the Dark Willow after the fact. Tim's wanting to escape. Slowed the punch, and Nightfall comes in.
Quite good there. Look at GPK. I think this is very interesting. He is looking to do the same exact thing that Abed did. The Glove of Haste into the Blink. Is this the build, or was he inspired? That is going to be the question I have.
Yeah.
Because they kind of stole the lineup that they had last game, right? They've got like the Chen and Shiro, they've got the DK, they've got the Grim, and like, this is annoying to play against, this is good. Let's just do it ourselves.
Right.
Down to the T, honestly. Item builds and everything.
Yeah, it is really a unique one, and I mean, it feels like it's working quite well so far.
Raven?
Dude, he's getting ran at by
Not
these creeps.
like this.
The creeps just beat the shit out of him. What the hell was that? Oh my god. What the heck? And now Carlo's also going to get ran at. The stomp is there. They find the gyrocopter. Devastating last couple of minutes.
Oh, it's rough. It's definitely rough, and rough is hardly even an appropriate word to describe Raven's game right now. I would rather use a disaster. I think that is much more fitting for what Raven's game is like right now. Abad's game, also not the greatest. Who is having a good game? Gabby? Sorta, but not really. I mean, sort of. Actually, he's close to a blink. This might be the item you really need if you're Blacklist to get back into this one.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Time will tell. We will see. 4,000 gold lead right now. And yeah, 6-2. The other scary thing is that, like, in general, I think Chen is scary to run into a lineup, or to be the hero that you're running in a lineup that, you know, can start scaling really well and taking towers. But Chen and then also Dragonite, very scary. He actually decides to stop up and instead go for the Midas. So he is swapping up the build in the middle of it, feeling like maybe he doesn't need to play as fast. We'll see if this ends up coming back to bite them or all or not, because I mean, it's going to be a while before Pure gets his Blink Dagger. I don't know. What do you think about that choice?
This is definitely the more stable route. Like, I was surprised Abba didn't do this in the last game, right? Because if you make a mistake, it really hurts you. But if you go this build, you're kind of giving the other team a chance to recover, but you're also putting yourself in a position where you're accelerating faster. So in most cases, this is the correct thing to do, I would say. But if you want to completely destroy your opponent, then you would go for the blink. So he's gonna go the more safe side. I don't think this is bad by any means. I think this is actually the normal build. I think what Abba did in the last game was unusual.
Okay.
Unusual, but good. So
yeah, it's fair enough. We'll see. I do oftentimes think that there's these windows in the game where you know, I've seen lesser teams sort of like stop keeping the pressure on. They give up more of the map, and then the enemy team, when they're not sort of put under that type of pressure, are able to find a way back into it. But I also think that Betboom are one of the best teams in the world at making sure that, you know, they take that sustained pressure, but only on good terms.
Right. And I think this game's a little bit different too, because last game Wraith King was going Radiance first item, right? But
Look
this
mid.
game, Pure, okay.
BK, RP used, pulls him in, everybody's surrounding him.
Good kill.
Ooh, interesting.
It's always GPK that feels like he is a victim to that first death when they're winning the game, right? They always seem to find him and target him down. But back to my point of the Centaur versus a Wraith King, Centaur's got a Blink Dagger pretty much after this wave, right? So maybe that gives him the ability to already have that Blink Initiator where he doesn't have to feel forced to do it on the Dragonite.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Definitely going to be scaling. Raven is still broke as a joke. In the meantime, it's Toronto Tokyo that's just been kind of AFK farming while the rest of his team runs around and makes stuff happen. Already has the Solar Crest done and building into a pipe. The timing for that will be really nice for them.
But that rotation was huge for Gabby. We talked about him being the one hero that can actually do something in the game, and he did something pretty big there. And we'll have to see a couple more plays from him, as you mentioned, Raven so far behind.
Pure trying to bait out a Stampede here, but they won't get it at this point, it looks like. As Lena makes the move over, decides not to chase as the Hasterin wears out. Does have Boots and Aether Lens. Boots of Travel, rather, and Aether Lens. So she is set to join in these fights if they start popping off.
And Nightfall opting to go for Battle Fury in this game as well, showing that he's still playing Monkey King, which can be a more active hero, but he's deciding to play the more hard carry style of Monkey King.
God. Dude, look at Gabby. He knows that they're coming over here.
Okay.
That was interesting.
How shameful. I mean, he just played with them.
I guess. They got the Wisdom Rune stolen, though. That kind of sucks.
It's better than him just dying and losing the Wisdom Rune, I suppose.
True.
I'd say overall that was a pretty cool play. Kind of necessary as well, because I don't think they had any business taking that fight. Grimstroke was already set up there. Centaur had the Blink Dagger. That was his Blink Dagger reveal, though. So, unlike Gabby, who revealed his Blink and killed a mid-hero, Pure revealed his Blink Dagger for Wisdom Room. I guess it's something.
True. Building up stacks and taking them out now. Gabby will have the Echo Saber completed as he heads on back home to refill on resources, and then maybe it will be time to get going again for these players. It could be a pretty solid move now. Looks like Razor's just sitting with the Mithril Hammer a ways away from a BKB being completed. But farm up these stack here with Carlo for now.
So the thing we saw in the last game was Abed running around as a mid DK, making space for his cores to farm. And it feels like this game, Pure is going to run around, and GPK is going to farm. As he just hit level 12, he instantly popped his ultimate and started to hit creeps. So it looks like they have a different idea of how to play this Dragonite as compared to Blacklist when they played it in game number 1 here. We'll see if it works out, as they want to defend the spot lane, if possible, rotating Pure and Nightfall, but where's the Magnus at is going to be the real question. The only initiation, he's in the mid lane.
Yeah, they can't do anything here. Stampede to try and chase down and find Abed, and they get him there. Abed found and dead. TP's out with Tim's. But yeah, all it takes is a second, and they're going to be able to jump on top of that squishy Lina.
And that's because they saw Gabby in the mid lane hitting creeps. Like there's no Mag, guys. Go, go, go. They have no fear in the world if Mag is showing. So at some point, they're going to have to be a little more careful for that. But I also see Gabby's point of view here as well. He just wants his harpoon, and he is pretty close to it, just under 1,000 gold from it. Once he gets that online, then his initiations will be even more reliable. But I think once he does finish that, I want to see some more aggression coming out from Gabby, because he is absolutely needed in these fights to make something happen. Razor needs time to catch up, and Abed, he just needs an initiation. He can't really do it himself.
Raven, is he trying to bait this out right now? I'm not sure. There is a ward that's over there, which they have not been able to take away as of yet. Now, with Pure showing in the wave, they're going to have to be a little bit careful. Gabby could look for a jump. Again, there's a really good ward here that scouts out the gyrocopter at the moment, but they aren't quite aware of the Razor or Gabby
They
nearby.
can't do this.
Under attack.
All right. And I mean, they would have lost Pure for sure, just for Carlo here.
Yeah.
Not worth it. And the scan sees him too. So
Yeah.
he's baiting.
Waiting,
Radiant's
waiting.
bottom tower
Nobody's
is under
showing.
attack.
Gyro Shard online. This is kind of what makes the hero a support, right? Getting this shard up.
Has fallen.
It is available now, so that's going to be annoying. Cancels Blink Daggers within the proximity, so if you just manage to get that on top of either the DK or the Centaur, it's incredibly annoying for them.
They might have seen it. Oh, Centaur, he gets away.
Maybe.
TPing out. Gyrocopter
Yep.
not chasing all the way in. Oh, that's got to be frustrating.
BKB online for Nightfall now. Fresh BKB, he's going to be much stronger in this situation here.
Oh, yeah.
And now he can join the fights. One of the biggest problems of Monkey King is until you get to a really big defensive item or you're just really far ahead in net worth, you can die really easy. And with a BKB against the lineup he's playing against, it's not so easy to kill him as long as he gets the BKB off. So that's going to be something that's going to allow them to probably smoke up here and make something happen. They're probably talking about it. Like, BKB's online. Maybe we can smoke up to the dire top side and potentially do Roshan now.
Would be really good for them if they want to make that move and if they can get away with it. It is still a little bit scary playing into Mag RP with him ready to go. Although it looks like Gabby is taking out a bunch of these Chen creeps now. Kills a fair few of them in the mid lane. We'll see where it is going to be that Blacklist decide to take the fight. It looks like they're coming to contest this, having an idea that this is what's going on.
Definitely going to be a very critical fight here for Blacklist to stop this Roshan.
DD online. Ooh, do they catch Nightfall as he heads through? Or is he going to break their smokes? One more toss to the trees. He jumps into the midst of all of them. Back behind. Does he realize what's going on?
They say, oh no!
That was so close. And now
He
they have to
even
be
jumps
careful.
back into them. Okay.
Yeah, they've got smoke on smoke action now. Want to chase. This is still DD
Yeah, they're
on the
going.
leader. He gets caught. GPK
He's
on
stuck.
the low ground. Oh no, GPK. That's not where you're supposed to go. Completely
Oh,
out
no.
of position.
They got the
and now
monkey
they
too.
pull Nightfall. RP after that BKB used. Oh, GPK absolutely just shorted that blink. Oh no. Dude, the pressure. It gets to everybody.
Everything was so good. The skewer was down. All he had to do is get up there and stun a hero. The Nightfall can finish and he can follow up on it. But he blinked into the one spot that was on the low ground, so he had no vision, and he got stuck. Like, both of the worst things possible happened here. I don't even know how he went up to the high ground there.
Shockwave.
Oh, Shockwave pulled him up. Not that it really mattered in there. And that's your fresh BKB on Monkey King, just dead.
That really, I mean,
At least they didn't get Roche, I guess.
Right, that's the only silver lining is that they weren't able to claim Roche on Blacklist. And now, 60 seconds no RP. I think it might just be worth it to run down there and take it, right?
I think you should definitely keep being aggressive. It's hard to say after that. Like, do you mentally recover from that and be like, let's just still do Roche anyway? Or is Nightfall just like, screw that, guys. I need some more creeps so I can win this game.
I know. God, that's such a big turnaround, too. I mean, the sort of X factor in this and the thing that's leading the gold expansion is Toronto Tokyo on this Chen with these team fight items, right? God, man, you look at that graph and how good things were going for Betboom. It's still pretty much in their favor.
It is.
You lose a couple fights like that, it starts to feel really scary.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the Chen in particular, this hero doesn't scale very well.
Right.
Like, his creeps, all his auras and stuff, they have an expiration date. Especially when you're playing with so much AoE. Like the Gyro, Magnus, Lina, Dark Willow, even Razor with his nukes. Like, once his pipe has no longer a big impact on the game and his heals, which will happen, the more items, like, heals do not scale in this patch very well as compared to other patches. You do need to get a huge advantage, and it does still have a strong timing. I want to say around the 30-ish, 35-ish minute. That's when Chen is going to take a big dip downwards and like how much impact he's going to have in the game. But for now, so far, it's still good, especially because Pure has finished his hard as well, adding that extra tank ability. And now Monkey King with the Aegis. So if they do that play again on him, he will at least be able to just come back and keep the fight alive. Right. And another one of those heroes that really desperately needs an Aegis, because he, as we saw, he can be bursting easy. As Magnus was a huge kill if they can get him.
This is nice. Make the move in and find Gabby. That is right before he got his BKB completed too. So just getting a little bit
40
greedy in the
seconds.
mid lane. This is what they needed. Betboom. How much do they want to pressure with this? Oh, that's still their first tier 2, so they'll be able to use their glyph on it, but still, this should be going down at this point.
And it's really up to them at this point. Do they want to force the next glyph, or do they want to play the map?
Lina found down bottom. Abed gets caught by Pure. Save and Pure pulled together to get that kill. Wow.
All right, this is not a tilted Betboom for sure. They have recovered phenomenally, and this is what they're so good at, right? It's like they showed 3 heroes mid, and Abed's like, they're pushing mid. I can just farm down here, but they were already set up on that bot lane, ready to kill. And now you just have to not make mistakes here. You have to go back if you're Betboom, because you have 2 heroes in the bot lane. At least you need to go back to the gate. That way you can meet up.
Yeah. Get together as a team. Don't get picked off just out somewhere on the map. And particularly because Lina has bots.
This
getting
smoke
caught out of position here would be really bad.
The smoke can't work. There's no way the smoke is going to work.
Oh,
Nightfall. Nightfall has to see this. There's no way he doesn't see this coming, because look at top lane.
Yeah,
it's shoving in. Bot lane, it's shoving in. No one's showing mid lane. You have to know a gank is happening. As Betboom, they're going to group up. Not under a ward quite yet, but they're just dangling Toronto Tokyo here. You're going to see Lina, but she does have the travels. Oh, they found the gyro.
Monkey
I don't know
King
who found who
breaks
here.
the smoke.
It's getting crazy.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Does have the TP out. Going to be able to make it on the Willow, but nope. Pure right there to stop it. So really heads up play and good reading of the map by Betboom, understanding what was happening and making the perfect reactions to it. Now an Aghanim Scepter done on Nightfall.
I mean, I must say that was quite the weird champ smoke, because these teams are at a level where they should know that they can't go smoking like that with all their lanes shoved into them.
Right. Yeah, not going to work out more often than not. They do have Mag BKB now done. And, of course, we saw a little while ago Abed having finished off the Aghanim Scepter. There's definitely potential here for that blow-up if they find the right target, particularly before BKBs get used. GPK looking, wanting to find him. Abed.
Maybe they can get him. With that Aghanims, you can fly over buildings. Oh! Can you do it?
Find him? No!
Oh, no! They knew.
The mark.
They knew, but just the wrong path in the trees doesn't get them to kill there.
Yeah. Well, oftentimes people talk about sort of the value of team fight and vision as we get into the later and later stages. Do you think it's still a position at this point where, like, if Blacklist find the right fight, they can overcome, like, this net worth advantage and everything?
Oh, yeah, of course. This is definitely a game where it's far from over. And whenever you're losing a game and you have a Magnus, like, there's always a chance, right? You're always going to be able to get a hero out of position into a position where you can kill them where you otherwise couldn't have, right? And that often applies to the high ground. But it can be in any situation. We saw multiple times this game where they just catch out Nightfall or GPK just by being alone and then putting them in a spot where they really don't want to be.
They headed down south. Still really good vision in this area for Betboom. And the similar type of scenario that we saw in the last game, Manta Aghanims now done for Dragon Knight at just about the 27-minute mark. An 8,000 gold lead here. They're really pulling a little bit ahead. And at least at this moment, no smokes available. They're just sitting up on this high ground, hanging around a ward.
Yeah, this is one of the faster DK timings for this, but it does go back to GPK has put more emphasis on farming this game, as like he went for the Midas first, and of course Pure has been the one running around for the most part, going for the plays. But luckily for Pure, they've been working out, and he also hasn't been dying at all, so he's actually the most farmed hero in the game right now, while being the most active. So Pure having like a flawless game right now.
Radiant are scanning.
They were underneath that ward, actually. I didn't even realize that was a Radiant Observer ward. And now a smoke up at the same time that Betboom go for one of their own.
Yeah.
And we'll see what the final situation ends up being for who runs into who.
I think Monkey King can't get caught. If Monkey King gets caught in the RP, then it's bad.
Save. Has one on him. Jump. Hoof stomp. Raven on it. BKB out.
Oh,
the RP connection. That's exactly what they needed. Nightfall gets obliterated right at the start. And now GPK and Pure, can they manage to keep this fight going in their favor? Raven tries to back out, but the stomp will be there. The final tally for this fight ends up looking like it's going to be 2 kills apiece. It's Carlo also likely to go down. Have him chased down and enough for the finish there.
Pure is just too farmed. Like, that was a dream scenario. That RP pulled the Monkey King out of the tree line as he was channeling his Wukongs. So he didn't have BKB popped. He had nothing, and he just ends up dying. And I said that was like the best thing that could have happened for them. But still, it wasn't enough to make the fight convincing. And I think even just, you're going to see here, watch this. The Monkey King, he goes back because he knows he doesn't want to get caught. He jumps in again. He's like, all right, I'm good now. RP down from the tree, mid-animation, gets also hit by a Laguna Blade and all the other spells. He goes down without having any impact there, but still, GPK and Pure are just too farmed right now. You have the shard available for the Centaur now, so he was running around with 6,000 plus HP and a lot of damage on that double edge.
Oh, yeah. No, it feels like he's going to be able to just keep running through and spamming this double edge over and over again. And I mean, it feels like you kind of have to go for some type of kiting scenario or something. Raven eventually needs to be able to, stand toe to toe against him. But much like the beginnings of the laning stage and everything else since then, they just haven't been able to do it. Pure is a monster. Second highest net worth in the game right now on the position 3 Centaur.
He's definitely a monster, and I really think Nightfall has to be way more careful in this game. He has a lot of room to chill, right?
Yeah.
The DK illusions are going to give so much vision. Pure is going to give so much vision. Only thing that he can do that will kind of jeopardize his team is just dying a bit early, because he is squishy. He is very, very squishy. He just has to find the Magnus and not let the Magnus find him. And I think if he can do that, that's enough impact. Or at least he needs to get off his BKB and his Wukongs before he gets RP'd. Right. I would also be okay with that.
Either of those two things will work out for him quite well. The ice armor getting added on is pretty nice, actually. It's a good little bit of help to move them in along the way. But thinking about defending their high ground now, Abed is getting closer to this Octarine core, has the Kaya done. I also saw that Centaur ended up picking up the Kaya for themselves too. Going to go back for the Sanjin Kaya. So even more damage amp coming out and spamming the stuns and hits from Pure. Kind of cool.
It's definitely pretty cool indeed as we move on to the next objective of the game. And it's going to be Roshan sitting on that Radiant side conveniently here for Betboom team, and they smoke up, meaning I think what they're trying to do here is they're reading that Blacklist is smoked, but they actually weren't. They actually just got to their base here. They're expecting a fight to happen right now, but they don't have vision of where they're at right now. And do they even have a smoke available? I think this is one of those situations where they're out of smokes, guys. They gotta run it the long way. So Betboom is kind of their own heads right now. They could have done Roche by now for free, but they didn't know.
Oh yeah,
they just didn't know.
And now they're
like, okay, they're not coming, guys. We're not just going to sit here forever. And they just go in.
God, it would have been
with everything
if they could have had a smoke for themselves right now. But yeah, they're not going to be able to get it in time. So should just be the free Aegis in hand.
Trying to break smokes and also break blink daggers with these DK illusions. And you just can't run into this fight without a smoke. I really don't think you can.
Yeah.
Because the game's over if you do that. It's just straight up over. At least if they give Roche away now and they defend high ground, they have a chance with buybacks.
These are
Pures. He's on the run.
Woo, scary. God, dude, if they catch you, it's over for Tibbs. Just trying to get out of there. My goodness.
Is it go time? That is the question.
Yes.
You've got choices. Do you go high ground or do you not? I think generally speaking, you don't, especially versus a Magnus. But we'll see what the call is here, as I think choking the map will be the safer play. And this is, mind you, an elimination match. Whoever loses this game will be out of the tournament. So better safe than sorry, I think, especially in situations like this.
I do always worry that, like, again, you're giving more avenues for something to go wrong and for you to get caught out of position. But I guess the same is true for Blacklist in a lot of ways. There's more ways that they can get caught out and suddenly lose heroes around the map. Gabby does almost have that level 20 talent for the extra skewer range, which is going to be really helpful. Stepping up and immediately taking down that ward that the Chen just placed. Super annoying for Betboom. But this is now a done Lincoln Sphere also on the mag.
It helps. I think what GPK should be doing in these fights now is sending these dragon illusions and finding mag. If you can hit him just one time, put that poison on him and disable his dagger, that'll make your Monkey King feel so much more confident in the fights to do pretty much anything. Either go high ground or just show his hero whatsoever. Or they can continuously do what they're doing now and just use the illusion to hit these tier 3s. And it'll be a slow, painful death, but we saw in last game, it's still effective.
Right. Shockwave upgrade for the Magnus now. With that
more turtle power.
Tormentor being taken. Yep. Very annoying to play against. And Again, as often is the case, you just want to sort of keep that net worth lead from not ballooning out completely on the side of Blacklist. And for Betboom, spam out the lane, spam out these illusions. They're about to have another round of them here as Elder Dragon form is back up. Manta sends them each direction. And a scan from the Dire.
Gabby's in position.
Nightfall.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think they're okay with just skewering back even Nightfall, because like if Nightfall BKBs and just disengages, that's a win. If they manage to stun him and kill his Aegis, that's also a win. And there's always the possibility you can kill him once and then he respawns RPM and he dies again. So Nightfall still can't show in these situations. In fact, nobody can show, and that's why you see these illusions just coming in, doing the damage, being annoying.
Yeah, I mean, it is sort of a similar story to what happened last time. Skewer's back was just an illusion there, so nothing doing.
Taste of their own medicine, but last game there was like also Nog illusions, skeletons.
Right.
From the Wraith King. It was more intense, but still, look at these tier 3s.
Yep.
Yeah, I changed my mind. DK's super toxic. Like, this is insane. It's zero committal for this.
Yeah, it's mega annoying. And now he also has a arcane rune, so yeah, just send him on out again. At some point, they need to do something to try and find people. Gabby, is he going to get caught here? They're thinking about it, chasing.
It's just the best target if they can get him.
Gabby!
Oh, he
moves
missed.
to the skewer, he catches one! GPK is there, LSA is out, Laguna Blade. Good stun through onto one, but it's going to be a runaway. Keeps himself fine and dandy. KB out from Gabby.
I don't know how do these unfortunate situations keep finding GPK? Like, he blinked into the skewer there, but it's okay. He got saved in the end. Save doing what he does best, the ink swell, dispelling some of the stuff on him, and I think he's just too damn tanky anyway to really burst.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's hard to think about that one actually happening and working. Although he did get down to about half HP, and that's in the dragon form that has, like, you know, the extra crazy magic resistance, 50% on top of it. So something to consider. 25 for Lena, although she probably goes to the Laguna Blade cooldown, but you know, pure damage is something to think about too.
Yeah, I think both are good, but the cooldown, especially when you have the Octarine and just making that go to like 18-second cooldown, is going to be ideally. But it's only level 22 for now, still a ways away from that talent, as they're all sharing EXP as it comes into the base.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Need to come up with a fight victory at some point.
Oh no, your buildings are dying to ghosts.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's super annoying here. Although tier 4 neutral items now coming out, buying more time. Ascetics Cap, Trickster Cloak for the Razor. Take down that one DK illusion, but the other
they're
one
going
is
on
going to come and get him. Pure finds one. Will it be enough for the finish? Yes, it will.
No buyback either here.
Gabby.
But I still think you play this a little slower.
He got Ninja Gear, jumps forward, wants one, and he's going to get one. LSA dead on Grimstroke. They find Carlo. Not sure if that's going to be a big enough kill for them. Gets the jump away, but then the two people stunned. Raven on to Pure. Ogre Steel Totem gets him away. That's the end of this chase, at least for now, as Carlo gets buy back for that. Looking for another. Not finding anybody yet on Gabby.
As long as DK is alive, they're not going to be able to get outside of their base here. Cutting every wave and also killing buildings very slowly.
It's time to buy some Dagons, honestly.
Yeah, I think you actually kind of need to, but the problem is the Dagon cooldown is too long.
Yeah.
And the illusions just come out too quickly with the Octarine Core build here. Because it's like a 22-second cooldown on Manta, and I think Dagon level 1 is 30, 40-ish or something like that. Something way higher, to the point where it just won't be enough.
Tim's and Carlo are buying them, though.
I guess you kind of have to, right? It does something. I mean, it's 35-second cooldown on Dagon, so
I mean, okay,
Helps.
let's game this out a little bit though, because let's imagine that they do get to the point where they have like double Dagons and at low enough cooldown to deal with the Manta. Eventually, this is a lot of kind of like wasted net worth on GPK, right? Because it's sort of like whittling things down bit by bit. But as we saw the other day, if DK actually has to get into a fight with somebody with Octarine Core, with Aghanims, you're kind of like not that great.
Yeah, you basically turn yourself into Naga Siren.
Right.
Where like you're not really good in the team fights, but your purpose is to just keep the lanes pushed out and just not take the fights and just keep hitting buildings. So yeah, you're right. And to get to the point to have your Dagons the same cooldown is you're gonna have Dagon Octarine Core on your supports.
Oh god. All right. Well, that's gonna be a while, but you can dream.
But it helps. What would help more is if they can actually kill GPK.
Right.
And there's an Invis Magnus here, lurking about, but he is by himself. So,
ooh,
alone
wait a minute.
Magnus
Did they spot Pure? It looks like they know that Pure is down here. Oh, but he's TPing away already.
And they're smoking on Betboom here.
Oh, rejoining the rest of the team. Gem was on the ground, passed over, and now they're all smoked up together. Raven is showing in the lane. Gabby is right there. Do they decide to jump? Getting an idea that they're in the area. Now he's going to go for the ninja gear himself. Keep himself fine. Looking for
Gabby's
an
being
initiation
canceled
moment.
here.
Oh, got to be careful. They have one. Now in trouble. Has to skewer away. LSA already out, Pure down to half HP, but they don't have anything to finish him off at all. Dark Willow is gone, stunned now, onto Abed. Blacklist, they need to stay in this game to try and keep moving on this tournament, but they are getting absolutely destroyed by the Betboom team that stole their draft from them. 4 dead for nothing.
And Pure at this point is just too strong. Got a nice double stun there with the follow-up of the Grimstroke Inkswell. And at some point, Raven's like, we have to deal with Pure. I'm just going to link him, and we're going to see it through this replay real quick. The blink is being canceled by the Dragon Splash, of all things. You get that nice double stun, Inkswell. Both the supports are deleted immediately. Gabby not be able to get anything off, and look at Raven. I'm going to kill you, Pure. And Pure's like, yeah, I've got 6,000 HP, and I don't even care if you take my damage, because I have Double Edge. That's my main damage source, Double Edge. Unaffected by my base damage whatsoever. But he's just in his face. I don't blame him. He's got to try and make something happen there. And just way too farmed on Pure right now. And very unfortunate that the DK Splash, of all things, stopped Gabby from doing anything in that team fight.
27,000, 28,000 gold lead. It just keeps going up. But an important change that did come out is Gabby finishing off the Refresher Orb. They're up on their high ground. There are buybacks available. You would love to be able to hold off on it, but waiting for that opportunity is scary. Jump in, find Pure. Do they want to go? Gabby's still waiting for his moment, but they're losing their entire base. They need to get them back into the fountain. But it's not looking like it's going to be easy. Smoke up now. Nightfall jumps up to a tree. They're looking for the right angle. They are somewhat grouped together and, well, is immediately going to just drop down the Wukong's command. Gabby looking for the wraparound, but the buildings are gone. That's Mega Creeps. They find him there, try to skewer him out of the ring, but the ring's too big! He couldn't get him through the other side of it! He finally comes out of it, but now Gabby's such low HP, it's not going to work. This is not the way they wanted this one
He's
to go.
got an
Waiting for the big RP to pull him into the fountain all the way. It's on to DK, but GPK is not dying.
Pure doesn't care.
And the fountain does not appear to give any types of cares. Now the Wukong's command down onto their fountain as GPK is going to be pulled back in, actually. And, well, he might have gone a bit too far finally, but Nightfall is killing everybody else. Oh, man. What a freaking fight.
Definitely a lot of fountain play there, and Gabby, he's going to miss that one.
Oh, gonna blade out,
Abed's
finds
in the
back
back
line. Okay, he gets one, now tries to run away. Pure can't quite get him. Okay, a dead Grimstroke. The stun is there onto Nightfall as he tried to jump through. Meanwhile, Gabby controlling Pure. Pure, TP broken. Nightfall stunned again by Abed. And they just can't do anything to Pure. This guy has 7,000 HP. They can't run him down. They can't steal enough of his damage. He's just walking around taunting, living his best life.
I think they may have just stalled the game, though, at least. Abed keeping Nightfall like perma-stunned. And even with the fact that they added that additional damage over time on Dragon Slave, making it so this Monkey King just never has an opportunity to jump up to the tree. So, honestly, Abed salvaged the game.
Right.
He allowed them to, I say salvage the game by allowing the game not to end immediately. They're still down 40,000 gold in Mega Creeps, so it's still not a great situation, but he stalled the game. That's probably a better word to use here. And when there's a chance, and there probably still is a small chance there as Abed is creeping towards that level 25 talent.
I mean,
what do you
Shen
have
has
to do, though?
AC.
That's luxurious.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, Shen's having a really good game on Toronto Tokyo. 4-1 and 16. Not really dying, getting all the items in the world. He's ahead of Raven in net worth. The POS 5 eclipsing the position 1 of the enemy team. That'll happen when you're down 40k, you know? That'll happen.
It feels bad. No, absolutely. They have a DD on Raven, but I mean, even a double damage, he's probably still going to end up doing less than a lot of these other heroes in the game. It just has not gone their way from the jump, pretty much. And now Blacklist, like you said, down 42,000 gold. Sure, they've got, you know, BKB Refresher Magnus, but at this stage, we saw even in the fountain, it still wasn't enough to get the kills they needed.
Thank you.
Maybe Abed with this Hex could be the difference maker. Because at some point, they're getting the BKBs off. Like on Pure, if they get him in the fountain and Hex him before he can potentially survive that, maybe that's the way to go here. And trust me, they're going to be close to their fountain for the next 10 minutes. So that's good.
Lena decides to take the CDR for the Laguna Blade. Was thinking about it for a little bit. But yeah, Mega Creeps now are just taking out these buildings. They have a Dagon on the Gyrocopter to try and clear through this. But yeah, it's feeling incredibly rough right now. And in the meantime, Betboom, like, what more items do y'all need? They're just sort of farming it up for funsies at this point, it feels like.
I think there's one item that could be beneficial for them.
What's that?
It's Aegis of the Immortal.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe a Wind Waker.
Well, they are smoked now.
Oh, Raven's got a DD. Raven's got a DD.
Gabby just said end in all chat. I've never seen that before. They pull back one, tries to find him. Toronto Tokyo is dead. All right, that's one down. Can they do any more? E-Blade out. Now, Raven just gets demolished there. Chasing into the fountain. They're going to kill off another couple. They have another jump from Gabby, but they can't skew her back in. Nightfall gets the BKB off. The Ancient is exposed, and Blacklist are going to get knocked out of the tournament here in this second game. Betboom, they hang on. They hang on at the end.
Oh, they most certainly do. They've been doing what they've been doing this entire tournament.